easier in this wind. Crazy times. So Saturday today, as I mentioned in last week's video, I was going to start doing beta. And actually make a go. I just can't be, it's so windy. You put anything down, literally just nipped out to the garden centre for a couple of hours, got back, and anything you put down, it's just blowing all over them. I just can't be bothered with it. I'm not even going to do any of the planting that we've got bits for. I'm going to tidy up that bit of wood and stuff, junk over there. I'm just going to go in and eat crap and watch crap on TV. What is going? It should be summer. What is going on? Absolute scenes here. So, fish. That's why we're all here. They are ravenous. Guess what? I've run out of fish food. I completely forgot this week I needed to order some because I was down to probably, I don't know, a few hundred grams. I knew it was down to a little because I'm actually using my JPD bin. I've got it in the conservatory, much to the wife's annoyance, because when you open it up it's a bit stinky. But so I knew I was down to next to nothing because I've normally got a little pot down here which I decant to. But because I've been taking it out of there, I've noticed there weren't a lot left, and lo and behold, I forgot until Thursday. Where are we now? Yeah, Thursday evening to order some. So that's not arrived today, Saturday, unless it comes a bit later today, but I doubt it. It's bank holiday, well, it's Sunday tomorrow, then it's bank holiday Monday, so I won't be getting it until Tuesday at the earliest. So they're going to have to starve. I'm going to be a bad coy parent, but hey ho, they'll be alright. And when my new food comes, actually, I've gone for something slightly different this time, but I'll talk about it when I get it. So yeah, whatever that will be, Tuesday or Wednesday, hopefully Tuesday. So stop me giving them too much food because they won't be having any food after. I've got one more little bit left to give them later today, and then that's it. Nothing Sunday, nothing Monday. But hey ho. But they'll be alright. So yeah, no heated stuff today. In fact, what I might do, I've got a little bit of tidying up down there. Since I'm having a bit of a purge on tidying things, all of this rubbish here and these bits going through the fence, I'm going to cut all that off and get this built back up, which is a little platform over there. I'm going to get that put back together. Do a bit more research on water purifiers. Thanks to everybody that's commented on what they use, how much water they change, it's already raining now, and all that jazz. And for everyone, when we was talking about last week, test kits, water test kits and all that stuff, I think I'm not the only person to have had issues with that, especially with the ammonia and the colours being so close to each other. Anyway, it's actually cold now. I'm getting these jobs and I'm going in. It's freezing, it's winter, roof's rattling, trees are bending over. Anyway, you probably heard none of that because it's so bloody windy. I'll have to re-record it. Right, get these jobs done and go inside and moan about the weather. Catch you later. This is the face of a man on the edge of smashing up everything that he looks at. Let's walk over to the pond. So if you remember rightly, last week this bank holiday weekend was going to consist of getting my pond heater sorted, chilling out, you know, just having a bit of a good time. Well, yesterday, which was Saturday, ended up absolutely blowing a gale, which you saw earlier. So we went to the garden centre and I sorted out all of the bits and bobs that we purchased and a few other bits around the garden, cut the grass and all that jazz. It was too windy to actually do anything else, and I had to do something with the plants because they were just getting, everything was getting blown everywhere. So that sort of, I wouldn't say wasted Saturday, but that got rid of Saturday. Saturday done, it's gone, thrown away now. Sunday, so I got up, I was awake early this morning, God knows why. Looked out the window like I normally do, upstairs, having a wee, and I noticed the pond was off. Come downstairs, trip switch had gone. Obviously simply just flicked it back, went inside, got ready and all that kind of jazz, had some breakfast. Lo and behold, about an hour later, tripped again. I'm like, right, okay. The only thing in the house that's changed recently is adding some plug sockets in the back of the garage. So I flicked it back on, had a quick rummage around with some wires, and I think I found the culprit. So that's what I've been doing all morning. That, I think, is what caused me all the issues. Look at that. Possibly. So everything's back on, although I've got to turn it off in a minute because I've got to rewire it all back up, just the outside. So hopefully this was the problem. So the pond has been without electricity for about 2 hours in the end. So no air, nothing at all off. So all back on now, although as I say, I've got to turn it off in a minute. I thought originally maybe it was something to do with the pond, so I was over in here rummaging around, seeing if there was any wires that had been eaten by rodent or any stuff that was damaged, or you know, just that easy kind of fix. But yeah, trace it back to this wire which goes from the house to the garage, and obviously it's just a normal bit of cable with no UV protection, and just over time it's bad. Anyway, so luckily I haven't got any food going in because I haven't got any, so I just need to keep an eye on things. That was alright actually, no air, no filters on. They were just busy getting on with whatever they get on with, fish things. So the likelihood now of me getting the heater installed this bank holiday weekend is slim. I have still got tomorrow, Monday, that's another day, so hopefully maybe I might have a bit of a bash later when I've calmed down and put my tools away and finished off doing this stuff. But yeah, it's not a good bank holiday weekend for me at all. Frustrating is an understatement. So this is the current situation. Anyway, I'm going to get this sorted. I'm going to have something to eat because it's gone lunchtime. And then I'm going to come outside and try and de-stress by putting the heater on the pond, which is probably not going to distress me. It's going to make me mad and distressed, not de-stressed. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. So I'm not expecting miracles this weekend, so go easy on me if I've not done it, please. Right, catch you later. Joys. Right, I'm de-stressed now. Distressed. Why can't I say that? What's wrong with me? Right, anyway. Still no food. Still Sunday. Still no food. Chill out. Cat. So, show's up and about again, a lot more. I haven't seen it sitting on the bottom, so that's good news. Look, so hungry all the time. Anyway, right. So, part of my quest earlier, thinking something over here was possibly broken, I took the lid off of this. Gonna have, before I work out where my heater's gonna go, I'm gonna have a bit of a tidy up. I don't really know how I'm going to tidy up. I'm just going to get rid of some of them wires and just sort of make it so there's a little room to stand in, and then try and work out where I'm going to get it. Thinking I need to work out for both the inlet and the outlet on this thing are on the back above each other. So that don't help. If I was to have to look at it, I'd probably prefer to look at this side of it than that side of it. Not that it matters, it just needs, I can't remember the distance, 60 centimetres, 30 centimetres behind, so the air, it can pull some air through. That's not going to be a problem for me, it's just the aesthetics of looking at it. But if I get it mounted here somewhere, I'm thinking I might put a bit of a screen or something in front of it anyway, to block it slightly, a bit of trellis, something like that. So yeah, I'm going to hop over, prop the other, that lid don't come off unless I unscrew it. I'm going to prop that up and then a bit of a rummage around in there and a bit of a think. I'm probably going to need to get the, even that weighs 30-40 kilos or something like that, I'm going to lift that up and get it up there just to have a bit of a mock up and work out pipe runs. I've got plenty of pipe, but I don't want to have excessive pipe runs and stuff just for the sake of it. Hence, if I put it here, I was thinking I'm going to run it from the K1 chamber up, pump it out up through the heater and then back through the pond, probably over the wall. Again, not certain, we'll see. It's completely going to be made up with no real plan other than I want to get it on over there somewhere. Right, I'll hop over. I might get, I've got a hoover somewhere, and see if I can hoover up some of this micro K1. I might be able to save a load of it, because there's absolutely tons. Oh, it's embarrassing in there, it's messy. There's tons of it everywhere. So God knows how much I've lost over the year or so that I've had that in there. So I'll get a bunch of cable ties, probably some screws, electric screwdriver, normal screwdrivers, bag for some rubbish, and have a bit of a bash up, see what we can tidy. Right, tools. I was stressed out earlier. Mad I was, fuming. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute when I'm re-mad, re-fuming. There you go. About everything and anything and everything to do with the pond. Like wood getting in the way. Move all that. Door stop back. There. Right. Pick you up in a bit. So I'm over it. So now I'm thinking it's going to be one job leads to 100 jobs. But I'm still going to give it a go. And a bit of investigation I've found, my air pump to the K1 vortex thing there isn't working. And I've turned it off. There is air coming out of it, but it looks like the end part, that hose tail part, whatever goes into, is leaking air. So it could probably do with a shelf for that and putting it somewhere else other than just chucking it down there on the floor. A bit like this one here, I've just got balanced on the ball valve. Yeah, I need to get rid of all of this stuff. Just look, K1 absolutely everywhere. 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 There's an extension link there. Everywhere. So, literally I'm only going to spend 20 minutes, half an hour. Oh my god, look behind there! So I haven't got however many litres I've got, 100 litres or whatever it is, 50, 75 litres, 50, whatever it is, I can't remember. Probably got about 5 litres. Static now, not aerated. I might look at that now. I do have a spare air pump for situations of emergency, etc. I might swap it over or see if I can bodge the end of it. Anyway, right, I'm literally properly going in now. I'm in, it's tidy. In fact, this is the before, the mess, the mess, mess. Let's see how we go. Oh, joys. It's never going to be concourse over here, but it's a lot better than it was. I found out why it's also always damp here. The cleaning pump, that union is leaking. So if it might not even be the union, it might be coming from above. But so that'll be on the agenda to fix. That's why it's always damp over it. Obviously I couldn't see that, there's so much junk in there. So I've got a bucket full of slop somewhere, with an absolute load of K1 in it, micro K1 even, and this, I haven't looked in it yet, I hoovered up. Oh, look at all that. I don't know if you're going to see. So I'm going to fill it with water and just see what hopefully floats and take it out. Anyway, still not even started working out heat pump stuff. So air pump, that's what I run on K1 chamber. I don't even know what size it is. Super silent air pump. What's on the back? Have a look. 40 litres is it? 25 watt, 30 litres a minute. 30 litres a minute, that's all I'm running on that chamber. If I get this going again, we'll have a look just to see how much it does bubble over with this on. So anyway, this is the problem with this one. So that bit there's cracked. Whether or not stood on it is fallen over on itself or whatever. Because what I had in there was that brass, I can't think what it's called, barbed hose towel, something like that. Obviously the screw part snapped that, so because I'm a window cleaner, luckily I've got a few bits lying around. I'm going to I've got a bit of hose, 12.5mm, 12mm hose. I'm going to try and wedge that over there, clamp it down with the Jubilee on it, and then amazingly this black hose, the airline, fits in here. I did have another bit somewhere, what did I do with it? Well, I'll show you again in a minute. So I'm going to take that off here, squeeze it over there, push that in there, and then I've got another, I've run out of Jubilee clips, but I've got one of these double-ended crimp things, O-rings. So I'm going to just crush that over this, should keep it all nice and tight. Now that is very tight. Like it's probably exactly the same size, but again, from always having bits and bobs window cleaning wise for our tanks and vans and stuff, if I put that in some warm water, it makes it nice and supple. Should be able to stretch it over that then, and then clamp it down with this. So I'll get some hot water and we'll see if that trick works. If it doesn't work, you wouldn't have seen this, so there's no point in me talking about it really, but you never know, it might work. It should do, because it normally does when we've got tight fittings for work. Something's leaking and we want to change it, that's what we do. Bit of hot water just on the end, just to make it so you can get it on, and then normally just sort of you can wiggle it and get it in the right place and then clamp it down. Right, I'm going to get some water and try that now, otherwise waste time in it. Here we go. Right, so that in there, hot water just out of tap, it's not boiling water. It gets too soft if it's boiling water. Nice and supple, and I'm going to wedge it on there. Let me set this up. Right on. So I've got the Jubilee clip over that, tighten it down so it don't pop off, and then, as I say, wedge that black part in there, and it should all be good. Now I did say I was going to make a little shelf for these air pumps, I ain't doing that today. Just going to wedge that back down there in that corner, and then I might try and hoik the air pump. It's going to get that insulation stuff stuck back up, staple it. and then hoik the air pump over and have a bit of a play around with position. Doesn't look like I'm going to do anything else other than that today. I've got all my micro K1 to sort out, but yeah, so in the end a bit of a productive couple of hours, but not all day like I'd have wanted, but hey ho, things are what they are. But tidy done, air pump hopefully fixed. Oh good. I'll get this done and we'll look at the amount of air that I've got going on it. See it turning over. I'll get this finished and then we'll have a look. There we go. Nicely bodged. Wibbly clip in there. Probably didn't need that. Probably didn't even need that. It's only 35 litres. Or whatever it was, 40. I can't remember. Not a lot. So yeah, this is the kind of turnover I'm putting through my K1. Not mental. You don't want it too mental. You want it just turning over like that. All I've got in the bottom of it, it's just an air disc wedged in the bottom, like a 6 or 8 inch one. It does, the air disc does bobble around and move and stuff, and when I put this on though, I'll pull the thing through, the airline through, just to try and wedge it in place. I don't know whether it works or not, but I don't see it. Anyway, I'll put that top, that's the top for it, back on. I'll put that back in its home down there. I'm happy that I've had a bit of a tidy up. Put my tools and stuff away, drag the air pump over. I'll staple this back up. I was going to take it off and I thought no, I'll just re-staple it. Right, nearly there, nearly time for dinner. There we go. Not quite the job I was planning to do today, but nonetheless one that needed doing. So I've got that staple back up, get the lid on, get the other lid on, get my tools away, sort my K1 out, bring the heat pump over. I wonder if there'll ever be a day where I'm not able to tinker with stuff and change things. Probably not. I like it really. It's all good fun. Right, put the GoPro down before I do myself an injury, because I'm right on the edge. That would make good viewing, wouldn't it? Sure you'd all laugh, and everybody in the house. Anyway, it's tidy. What an absolutely glorious morning. Just looked out the window, and we got this here, and the shower on the bottom. As per usual. Nothing new there then. These guys, I don't know what they're doing here. I think they're just eating weed. Yeah, no, I'm not food now. Still not sure what's going on with it. I may get it in a bowl just to have a look, see how that sore that was under its chin is doing. That's not priority today. We're doing it today. In fact, it's like I lucked out a bit because the last couple of days have been a bit cruddy, really windy, overcast and stuff. So nice and sunny today. Heater up here somewhere. So that's the plan, and maybe if I get that done soonish, get the shower out in a bit, because it's trying to wind me up. But obviously with the electric problem yesterday, I did have the house electrics were off probably on, well, a few hours in total yesterday, so whether or not anything's spiked or I don't know, any kind of other water parameters, and then, oh, who knows, there's always something going on, isn't there? But for now, I'm just going to leave it be. Let's get my heater done, in place, hopefully piped up. That's another job off the list. Right, get this stuff together. Back. So, what I'm thinking, I think I previously said I did have an air source heat pump many moons ago, but I had no end of trouble with it and ended up selling it on. Anyway, so, and I had that positioned on a platform just there, and then I had an easy pod underneath it and just returned it to the pond. So I think what I'm going to do, no, it went to the easy pod, then through the heat pump, then returned to the pond. That's the way around. So I think I'm going to put this back up there. Reason being, obviously, if I need to get to anything like the control panel, or if I want to, it needs servicing for whatever reason, or breaks and someone needs to come and look at it, it needs to be accessible. I'm thinking if I put it over here or here, it's going to be awkward to, obviously, for me to get to the control panel, to turn it up and down and all that jazz. And if anything, God forbid, does go wrong with it, it's going to be a ball ache for whoever comes to look at it. So I'm thinking if I put it up back on the panel, on the shelf that I'd already made previously for the old one, have it this way round, so the control panel for me is here, and then I can either maybe take a little bit of the fence out, put a bit of a hinge on a bit from the hedge, from the fence, so then it gives me access to the panel. So then if I want to change the temperatures, I can do that, and I can see the pressure gauge. There's good airflow around there. There's plenty in front and behind, so that's not an issue. And obviously, if it does need servicing or brakes or any of that jazz to get to it, still a bit of a ball ache, but easier than clambering over the back of the pond. Obviously, you can get to it down here. So I will have to keep this area tidier than I normally do. In fact, I could probably move a few of these. I've got a bit of space behind this hedge now. Excuse the mess, but since we've lost the hedge, this is where all my odd random bits of junk go in my grass pile on the back of the hedge there. So I could move a few of them things up there, because we haven't sorted this bit out yet. And then just need to keep the hedge trim back so I can get in and out easily. I've got power there, so that's not a problem. I've got holes in the wall from the filter pit, so it makes sense to probably put it there, and it's out of the way. So obviously I don't want it in your face. It's originally the plan was to have it down here somewhere, but it just creates more problems with pipe work, how I'm connecting it from the pond. Could have put a T on the skimmer, I suppose, but didn't. Accessibility there is better, but getting water from the pond and possibly back to the pond over there is maybe not the best option. I think I've sold it to myself. I think it's going to go back up there on the platform that I made. And then I need to have a play around with the pipe work. So I'm putting the bypass in. I showed you all the pipe work bits for that a few weeks back. Yeah, I'm going to put it up there and have a bit of a mock up with some pipe work and see how it all fits in, or doesn't. It should be fine, as I say, because I've run something before. Everything's sort of in place already to do that. I'll get it up there. It weighs a ton on my own. I don't know how much it weighs. 35 kilos. I'm a strong lad. See that? Right, anyway. And then, if that's right, then I won't need to... Well, I do need to sort the lid for this part now, because I took the bit of wood, it was absolutely rotten. I took that off yesterday to get to all the K1 and all that jazz in the on the floor, which you saw. Carnage. Right, I'll get it up there and then have a mock up with some pipe work and see where we're at. retrofitting is always a nightmare, unless you've got a ton of room. You know. Right, anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's get to it. Welcome to summer days. So I think I'm going to leave it there. So I've got access to the control panel. I don't even need to adjust the fence, I can reach here. So that's good. I can see the dial to make sure the pressure's right. As I say, power is literally here, so that's nice and easy. Pipework wise, I need to slightly adjust the heat pump just to give me a bit more room, but as I say, I'm going to just mock up now. So obviously there's me in and me out. I'll then need to get it, there's a hole down here for the return. I might need to put another hole in for the inlet, and then I can get all my pipework round here out the way as well. So I just need to keep the hedge trimmed because I love cutting the hedge, love it. Oh, fell over. And it also gives me, well, not gives me, but don't have the pump's not out on show. I mean, I've got enough bloody clutter around the garden as it is in the pond. I don't need it out on display. So you can only see it if you're standing over here, which to me, happy days. Plenty of flow front and back. So yeah, I think that is, as long as the pipework can, need to get all the bits together, pipes here, as long as the pipework can fit, that's where it's staying. Just hope I've got enough to do it all. A box of other bits in here somewhere as well. I'll get all that out and I'll get it mopped up. Busy afternoon. So this is where we're at. Sorry, extreme close up. So I've been messing around about where to put the pipe and all of this jazz. I think I'm going to order some flexible stuff for the return. So this will be coming in. So this pipe's going to go on top of the pump. So I'll be pumping this way up into the heat pump, and then out is going to be via a flexible bit of pipe which I'm going to run down here across the edge of the back of this wall over there, and then I'm going to return it underwater rather than over water. I think reasoning behind that will be kicking stuff everywhere, getting laughed at. Got laughed at. Start again. So yeah, that long pipe is me in. That comes here. I will cover all the pipe work with some lagging. I think I've got a load spare somewhere as well. So that goes in. There's my bypass set up, and then my out is there, which I'll probably run a straight bit of pipe along and then down, and then flexible pipe all the way back. I'm probably going to need about 10 meters max probably. So I've got my glue. I'm going to get this bit glued up, just the bypass stuff, then that's it really. I mean, ideally I've got too much pipe work, but oh, I don't know. If I want a short pipe run, I've got to put the heat pump over there, but I don't want the heat pump on the top on show kind of thing. And the angles of it and the accessibility of it will cause an issue, so it's a catch-22 kind of issue really, isn't it? Easy to get to, but it's on show. Slightly out of the way, more pipe work, but I'm sure it'll be fine. If I get any issues with it, I've got plenty of pipe work to relocate it at some point. Not that I want to do that, but that's just the way it is really. I don't really like this coming off of here, but again, no real choice because of the way the inlet and outlet are on the back of the heat pump. So that's it really. I'm going to get, as I say, get that glued up now, and then order some flexible stuff for the return, and then hopefully, so it didn't happen this bank holiday weekend, but hoping next weekend I can get it all up and running, maybe in the week, I don't know. I haven't done any cycling recently, been too busy doing pond stuff, so I want to get my bike this week. So that might not happen with this just yet, but you know, you never know. Weather's good, it's light, nice and late now, so as long as I haven't got a mega busy day at work, I can crack on with a few bits in the evening when I'm in from work. So I've done the majority of it, I suppose. The harder bit, locating it and working out pipe runs. I've had to cut another hole in the wall, and I've knocked all that off. I'm going to put that bit back. Put another hole in the wall. That was a bit of a pain, but because that hole, which is the original hole, is actually, there's me 4-inch pipe work for me K1 bays in the way, so obviously nothing's ever easy. So down here, it's just there, that cable going through, and there's the new one, and it's all messy now, look, choice. So not far off, and I probably need to support this pipe actually, because once it's in, I'm going to put something supported underneath, a bit of wood, I don't know if I've got some pipe clamps somewhere. Worry about that later. Right, always a bit daunting when you're sticking stuff together because you know there's no going back. So I've marked up everything with just a line, and yeah, hopefully it goes alright. A bit of sandpaper, I'm just going to chuff all the burrs off the end from where it's been cut, and then right, I can't keep putting it off, I've got to do it. Let's get it done, no mistakes please. Right, I'll be back in a bit when it's done hopefully. No hiccups, that doesn't need to be there. No hiccups. Right, I'm going to get these screwed back on, and then make sure it fits, which it should. It's all measured, and then pack the stuff away. That's enough for today, I've had enough. Anyway, see if it fits again. Still, should. That fits. It's all in. Just need to tighten the unions properly, but it's all there. I think that's right anyway. So, I haven't glued this in yet, I'll just put that in there to make sure it's all good. It's actually pretty sturdy, but I'll have to, I was going to put some pipe clips in, but I can't, it's not quite near enough to that unless I push it in, all that post. But I can put something under the bottom here, brick or something like that, just to hold that up. I've got a flexible 1.5 there, just to give me, I need a slight angle. It's not a perfect straight run to the pump, so that'll give me a bit of movement on a bit of straight pipe work there, but nearly there. Yeah, not been too bad. Fraught with worry getting the pipe work right, but it's there. Need to order, get some flex actually from Screwfix or something, and then need to decide what I'm doing with the external stat. Well, this wire's in there, I need to take this out anyway, and just probably for now use the internal stat, because I think there's a 1 degree, is it 1.5 degree change in water temperature to turn it on, and the previous guy had it at I think 0.3 or 0.5 of a degree to turn it on. I'm not worried about that just yet. I want to get it all in plumbed up, and then probably run some water through it just to make sure everything works, then sort that out. If not, investigate before then I can sort it. Anyway, right, a few bits to tidy up, and that's me done for the day. How many times have I walked into that as well? That's a good idea, isn't it? Put your spare pipe work up there. Just about to squeeze through. Right. fish wise today, they've been alright. They seem a little bit off actually. I don't know whether, quite a bit of foam this morning, I don't know whether there's been a bit of an attempt of a spawning of any kind. Mixture of males and females in here, so it is possible. In fact, where is the big male? There he is, over there. Big Frank. But yeah, obviously every time we go up to the pond they are just begging for food, which I have not got still. There we go. I've noticed actually chubs in the last few days has darkened up no end. Actually, the temperature has changed a bit over the last few days. Where are we at now? 16 degrees. Getting warmer. It'll be nice and proper toasty soon, kids. That's how hungry she is. Look, hitting the thermometer. Yeah, notice she's darkened up quite a bit. You see where the scales are more defined. There's no food there. On the whole, everyone's looking alright. Still a bit veiny, a few of them as well, I've noticed, but even that one isn't. Ouch! That's ravenous. Yeah, skin quality is still not perfect on a few, but nothing to worry about other than that shower, which is acting like a right fool. Which, as I said, I might get out at some point this week just to have a look on under her chin at that mark. Right, I'm going to pack my tools away. I'm going to have a shower. I've had enough today. I'll put all of this stuff back. You see on there that, yeah, that pipe's not too far, it's not a million miles away. Let's say that rubber boot there will just give me that bit of flexibility to be able to move the pipe over there. And I've got a slightly bigger pump, that's quite a small pump on there. I think that's a 4000. I think I've got a spare 6 and a spare 10. So we'll see whether I can swap them out. They're exactly the same Halio pump, so pipework and stuff will fit. Just depends on flow rates for the heat pump. But I've got a couple of options anyway. It's all dirty now, done some drilling. The joys. I can tidy that up. I'll make a video about tidying that up again and moaning about the mess. Anyway, I'm going to get the shower out here. Stand around chatting still to me. GoPro. Anyway, right, catch you later. See ya, bye. Good afternoon. So, into work, now I'm back, I'm on it again. So I need to measure how much flexi pipe I am going to need. So what I've done, I think the easiest way to do, I've put an extension lead the other side of the pump. I've just lobbed the load over. I'm going to sort of run it roughly where I think flexi pipe will go, and then I can just measure the cable from the extension lead and see how much I'll need. So let me tape measure. I don't really know, because I don't want, it's not particularly cheap stuff. I don't want to order way more than I need because I'm probably never ever going to need it again. So I want to get it near enough right. So we'll talk about that flexible stuff when I get it, because it's not the normal corrugated kind of stuff that you see that you can get and gets brittle and gets damaged and all that kind of jazz. There's there's actually 2 stronger types out there, and they're both solvent weldable as well. So Yeah, exactly. So it's not cheap stuff, so I want to make sure I get the right amount. I don't want to order what, it's not like an extra couple of fittings, a couple of quid. It's a fair few quid a metre, 3-4 quid a metre, so I don't want to order like I don't want a 30 metre roll and only need about 4 or 5 metres and stuff. Likewise, I don't want to order 2 metres but need 3 or 4 metres, so yeah, gonna lay that, measure it out, order it, then I can pick that up from Absolute Koi because it's not a million miles from here, tomorrow, day after, something like that, so I should have it by the end of the week. Anyway, right, hop over, run my green cable, mark the cable, and then chuck it back over here and I can measure out how much I need. In theory it should work, but we'll see. Right, just in the afternoon. So just a quick end to the video. So I've got my Pipework, that's my flexible pressure pipe with the fittings. We'll talk about that more, and the glue and pipe clips, and that's me 1.5 inch pipe. So big thanks to Darren at Absolute Koi, because I placed the order quite late and then actually went there the next day to get it, and he was having an absolute nightmare because the amount of orders I've had. But so thanks for letting me pop in and collect them, and then letting me bend me ear about this, that and the other. That was good. So obviously I didn't get it all done this weekend, last weekend. As you saw, it's in place, the pipework is there. You're not going to see it from here, but it is in place. I haven't even ordered the electric cable, I'm going to get that tomorrow. The pipework's there, I need to get the flexible hose in and then returning back, and it'll be done. I can turn it on and see if it works and works as it should and all that kind of jazz. So anyway, so thanks for watching this week. It's been a bit of a long video. I've actually got way more clips than I've used this week, so there might do, depending on what happens next week, there might be an extra video next week, midweek, something like that, depending on when I get it edited. I'm running out of time this week to even get this one done, so it's Friday today, and obviously, as you know, I like to get them out Saturday morning. So thanks for watching. As I say, next week should have it, you should see it done next week. I'm thinking I'm going to conscious effort tomorrow, get up and just get it done, nip out, get the bit of wire, get it plumbed in and get it on, because it's just boring me now. It's boring me that I'm having to, it's taking me a week to do it. It should have taken a day. Anyway, oh, I still haven't even talked about fish food. We'll do that at some point next week as well. Anyway, mumbling, bumbling, jumbling on. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you hopefully midweek next week with a bit more of an update and some more stuff that I've filmed that I've not got out this week. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.